What's going on, guys? My name's Dynasty. Got for y'all today another MK11 video. Got for you all some roster talk. Yes, finally getting a chance to sit down and break down the entire roster. My final predictions for the base roster. It's gonna probably piss off a lot of people, but just keep in mind, this is what I think is gonna happen. I may be right, I may be wrong, just using my prior knowledge covering Mortal Kombat games to make my conclusion. So with that said, let's break this down, let's break some hearts, and let's get into it. So first things first, for a template, this is the current MK11 roster, courtesy after the most recent leak that we had from Steam. In case you don't know what happened, Steam leaked like a bunch of the MK11 achievements or trophies, and inside this leak, we gotta pretty much get like 75% of the roster, because inside the source code of this like leak, at the very end of a few file names, you have like a code name. For instance, you're looking at here at the end of number 1, it says SKA, that's Scarlet, ERRs are in black, BAR is Baraka. You probably get the general idea that we're going with here. So Steam leaked 20 achievements, 20 trophies, that essentially were 20 characters on the roster, and there was 3 characters out of the 20 that got leaked that we really couldn't transcribe. They were CET, TER, and KOL. So many, including myself, thought and believed that those are new characters, and it turns out that one of those is not a new character. It's now confirmed a few days ago that Garrus, yes, Garrus is TER. So it's not 3 new characters on the roster, but now currently at least 2. So going back to the roster template, you can see on the very top we have those 2 characters, KOL, CET. No word if that's going to be the first 3 letters of their name, or if it's going to be simply a codename like we saw for Garrus. So yes, keep that in mind, but regardless, CET and KOL are at least 2 new characters coming, I guess debuting in MK11. Following that, 3 other characters inside the roster. So a grand total of 5 characters have not been revealed out of the 25 character base roster. Of course, I'm not including Shao Kahn here because Shao Kahn is a pre-order bonus, so just keep that in mind. Shao Kahn is not part of the 25 base roster. I guess he technically is, but we're not using Shao Kahn here. But yes, this is the current roster as it stands. Garrus, Raiden, Scarlet, Kano, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Cabal, Johnny, Kung Lao, Baraka, Sonya, Liu Kang, Jade, Jackie, Frost, Cassie, Kotal Kahn, Aaron Black, Kitana, Devora, new characters, CET, KOL, plus 3 unnamed, unannounced characters that we have no clue if they're either new or returning characters. Keep in mind, too, on an aside, at least one of these brand new characters is confirmed to be a male. Just recently, I talked about inside a video how this Brazilian voice actor and director were, talking about the process of dubbing the Portuguese version of Mortal Kombat 11, and this guy mentions how his favorite character to dub was an all-new debuting male character on the roster that we haven't seen get announced yet. So keep that in mind. At least one of these 2 characters, KOL or CET, appears to be a male. So yes, keep that in mind. Take it for what it is. But this is the part where hearts begin to break, because it's tough. It really is tough, because there's a bunch of fan favorites that aren't appearing to be on the base roster. If the Steam leak is legit, if it really is only a 25 character base roster, keep that in mind too. We were basing this off of the current 25 character base roster. I mean, maybe it'll grow because the stages grew inside the most recent Kombat cast. We saw that more stages got added, but currently we got 25 characters on this character select screen, so that's what we're going with. So 3 characters right now. Now, this is my opinion. Don't hate me. I'm explaining to you who I think makes the most sense. So first things first, Rain. Yes, Prince Rain, because he is easily one of the top 3 most thematic characters dating back to MKX DLC. It was Noob Saibot, it was Jade, and it was Rain. I guess Fujin was number 4, but Rain, a character who we saw featured in several of Ed Boon's like DLC character voting polls, always being brought up by, Ed Boon and tweets, etc. He was an NPC back at MKX. That pissed off so many people because that led many to believe that he was playable. Of course, he wasn't. And pretty similar how we see, Frost from MKX, who's now playable in MK11. I do think that Rain will get the exact same treatment. He was introduced in MKX again, just like Frost. Frost became playable. I think they're going to do the same thing for not just him, but a few other characters. So yes, I do think that Rain has a chance. He's been DLC before as well, back in MK9. And Ed Boon has confirmed essentially that they'll never repeat DLC ever. So if he's not going to be on the game's base roster, he won't be in this game if they are sticking to that statement. And he needs to be an MK11. So in order for him to be an MK11, he can't be DLC. He has to be a base roster character. He was also featured on the main menu select screen during the MK11 reveal day. There is like an image of Rain looking over a mountain range, and it was purple. I'm pretty sure it's Rain. All of us think it's Rain, and it's cool because this kind of works on his favor because both Kano and Kitana were also featured on the MK11 day main menu screens, and they're now playable. I know Kano's confirmed, Kitana all but confirmed at this point, so yeah, I think that's another thing working out in Rain fan favors, and if he's not in this game, when else? You know what I mean? He hasn't been on the base roster since, what, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Armageddon? It's been a long time coming. I do think he finally gets the respect he deserves. I do think Rain makes the base roster because if he's not on the base roster, he won't be in this game. If he's not in this game, there's going to be a bunch of angry Mortal Kombat fans. So yes, I do think Rain is one of these question mark characters on the roster. Now moving on to the second character, I think, to make the final base 25 character roster, I think it's Shang Tsung. Now, we already have seen his island, though it's in ruins. It's a playable stage in MK11, and if we're gonna have time travel going back and forth, Chronicles pulling out all these crazy, you know, time travel elements, what would a game like this be without a sorcerer? We need Shang Tsung. Now, there's also the Easter egg, if you will, the reference to him, because Revenant Liu Kang has been caught inside the trailer throwing one of Shang Tsung's classic skull fireballs, so many, including myself, think that might be a nice little teaser that maybe that was Shang Tsung posing as Revenant Liu Kang, just maybe. And speaking of like character select screens, just like we saw with the Rain in the last discussion, there is also a select screen inside the MK11 reveal day menu where it's like souls moving inside of like Shang Tsung's throne room. Pretty sure those are souls that belong to Shang Tsung. It might be Ermac, but I really do think it's Shang Tsung. Like, I think everything makes sense for it to be Shang Tsung. So yes, I do think with him, taking a rest from MKX and disappearing after he gets killed in MK9, I think he's coming back. There's a bunch of endings also in MKX that lead us to believe that maybe he's not dead. He's kind of just been in hiding. So yes, between the main menu screen having those souls moving back and forth when you hover over that tab on the main menu, from the MKX endings to the fireball to the stages, we also just, we need a sorcerer. We do have, I guess technically, we have like a blood mage, a blood sorcerer in Scarlet. We needed like an actual like sorcerer. We need a shapeshifter, don't we? I don't know. I think this guy's had his rest. I think that Shang Tsung is ready to make a return. So yes, he is my second character to, make the final roster now. My last one, man. I'm so sorry. Like, this is tough. Like, you guys don't understand how hard it is to narrow down this roster. It sucks. Now, if the Steam leak is legit and we really do only have 3 more characters apart from those 2 new characters, I'm telling you, it's impossible to fit every fan favorite. I have Noob, I have Fujin, Melina, Sindel, Reptile, Ermac, Jax, Havoc, Nightwolf, Serena, Takeda. Like, the list goes on and on of characters I thought were going to be on the base roster, but apparently, if this leak is legit, they're not. So, my final pick, don't hate me, my final pick is Smoke. Now, I think that it's Smoke because the Enenra character, just like Frost, was introduced and set up in MKX for a reason, right? That made, Frost become playable. I think that's going to make Enenra playable in the next installment. Now, Enenra is a, Smoke being possessed by some ancient, I think, like, cloud demons, if you will. And, I think there's, like, so much potential in this new character. He doesn't want to be called Smoke. He wants to be called Enenra. Going back to MKX, DLC, there was a bunch of demand for Smoke, and guess what? We got Smoke, but we didn't get this Enenra character. We got a Cybernetic Ninja version of Smoke as part of Triborg. So, was it really this Enenra character we saw introduced? It wasn't, which leads me to think that maybe, because it was set up in MKX, this makes the most sense because he can't be DLC again, right? Just like Ed Boon has mentioned, they're not going to repeat DLC. So in the same vein as like Rain, Smoke is not going to be DLC. He has to be on the base roster. He's a fan favorite. I think a lot of you guys would love this Enenra character. I think it does make sense. And also, the cool thing about this is it kind of fills the void for the Cybernetic Ninjas. If you've not, noticed, there's no Cyrax and there's no Sector. At least if Smoke is part of the game's base roster, you can give him a Cybernetic Ninja, like, skin. And there you go. We have at least one Cybernetic Ninja, something they've done previously in the past. So maybe, Mustard and Ketchup have to sit out this game. And I'm not cool with that, but that's kind of the predicament that it seems like we might have to be in. So I think Smoke makes the most sense. And it was tough, guys. It was really tough. And I'm so sorry if your favorite is not on this roster, like I mentioned. This was a pain in the ass to try to sit down and break down because there's just so many characters that I wish could be on the roster, but it seems like if they are, they have to be DLC. And Noob Saibot is like the one character that pains me to say, I'm pretty sure Noob is going to be DLC for this game. He's gonna get the Injustice Red Hood treatment. Everybody wanted Red Hood in Injustice 1. He was on the base roster. They wanted him as DLC. He wasn't DLC. Everybody wanted Red Hood in Injustice 2's base roster. Was he ever revealed? No. Eventually he was, as you guessed it, the first season pass to be like the selling point of the DLC pack. So I think from a business standpoint, NetherRealm Studios knows that one way to sell season pass is to have a character, a fan favorite, the most requested character of all time, Noob Saibot, as a DLC character. So that's where I think that Noob's going. I wish I was wrong, but I truly do think that that's what they're going to do, and I really can't blame them because it just makes sense from a business standpoint. Like, if I wanted to sell some Combat Pack DLC, guess what? Noob Saibot, boom! DLC, and it's gonna work out. And the same can be said for Fujin and a bunch of other characters. Yeah, I think a character like Reptile is setting out this game. I think Reptile will get the Baraka treatment back at MKX. I think Reptile might have to sit out. But then again, it's kind of a toss-up because you also have the voice actor, the Spanish voice actor, who months ago, back in December, essentially leaked Mortal Kombat 11 for the first time. He said that he got replaced doing, voice work for Kung Lao and Reptile. So maybe Reptile is one of these question marks, but I don't know. He's just always getting his ass kicked, and as much as I love the character, I think he needs to sit out because I'm just tired of seeing him get beat up. If he comes back, I hope he actually has a presence, but I can't see NetherRealm Studios giving him a presence unless he becomes Onaga. That'd be something. But, yeah, I'll probably eventually do like a breakdown of characters I think are going to be like DLC, but that's probably going to be down the line. But this is like my final prediction. I think, unless we find out this Steam link is fake, I'll probably do another one. But yeah, there you go. That is the final roster. And I'm curious on you guys' opinion. I'm very curious because, like I mentioned, this is so tough for me. It was so tough. But I do think I make some pretty decent arguments here. And I just want to hear what you guys have to say about that. So anyways, if you guys did like the video, please take 1 second, drop a like on it, subscribe for some more MK11 content. Until next time, been your host, Dynasty. Guys, please take care, stay safe. In a perfect world, the roster expands and it's 30, and then we get all the fan favorites in there, right? I'll see you guys later. Peace. Started in 92, dressed in all blue with some of the best fighting moves. I was also born in 92. Oh shit, Dynasty, pay attention to where I go with this. I didn't die in the events of the first game. That's the only difference. Here to hang like a rope chain. John Tobias, Ed Boon, y'all fucking amazing. Y'all not human when it come down to being creative. Look, man, I can't be stopped. I ain't playing with